Welcome to the Slow is Fast RC Podcast, episode 37.
Maybe
We always
38.
forget to look.
Yeah, it's the easiest thing to do. It's the next episode after the last one. Today we got a guest joining us here shortly. Until then, we're gonna do a little bit of catching up amongst ourselves. We haven't been on in a while. I was thinking about this the other day. It's kind of funny because like a year ago, Taylor and I know we were both working like second shift or night shift and working really weird hours, and Mike was working normal hours. And like in our heads, we're like, yeah, when we get these new jobs, we're on the same schedule. We're gonna be able to record so much all the time. And now it's like somehow we're busier,
Yeah.
which is great. Like I'm loving life and everything.
It's because you're on the time of normal people.
Yeah, I'm like,
So,
I can
you know what
go
I mean?
out to dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
once maybe I keep saying it doesn't get dark early. Like maybe I won't go to bed so early and I'll just sleep less. But lately it's just like 9 o'clock hits. I'm an old guy. I just want to go to bed.
Yeah. Yeah. After
It's
like
dark.
8 o'clock, if I'm not already in something, then all I want to do is shower and read my book for a little bit and call it.
Yeah.
Anyways, we have been doing some racing, and throwback actually. Taylor and I attended the Pennsylvania State Carpet Championships presented by Dog Days, and I want to throw Sean Duffy some extreme flowers because this whole like series and everything he did is what the hobby needs, like just in general, like a bunch of these little things, or one big one. Obviously, the goal, I always preach about it, but it was 6 qualifiers. I know Sean's gonna text me and correct me, but he had like 6 qualifier races, and then the main event at Richfield, a 2-day race, qual Saturday, main Sunday, and you didn't have to go to a qualifier event. This was the cool part. You could have missed every single qualifier event, but if you showed up at the championship, like Taylor, and if you TQ'd round one or round two, you could race in the championship class and, essentially race your way in so you could still become the champion. And the awards were super trick. They lit up and everything. We did 3 quals.
Duffy did a great job on those awards.
Yeah, they were best
Yeah,
awards
they were
I've ever
pretty sweet.
seen. But we did 3 quals, AAA mains for all classes. We had 100, what was it, 150 something on the entries, 160 something, right around there.
Yeah, roughly. I think Friday started off maybe like 130 something, and then it
Yeah.
kind of creeped up. Maybe.
Yeah, and then we had a couple latecomers on Sunday play the bump game. But we a lot of learning. Of course, this was Sean's first time doing it, and I think for his first time, it was amazing still. And just from the little bit him and I talked, I'm very excited for next year, and he already has a bunch of improvements planned, and it's going to be killer. And see, like I know I really liked. We got done qualifying like 5, 6 o'clock Saturday.
Oh
And
yeah, that was nice.
I really liked that because we got to go see Cody, and we got to go out to eat and hang out with him and catch up, and then still like get to bed at a decent time compared to like,
Did we though?
well,
Did we?
well, I mean, yeah, but like because if it was LCRC and
Okay, yeah,
we had
fair
to
enough.
stop because of rain 3 times, and we don't get done until 11 o'clock, and we still want to hang out and be bros, now we're gonna
Yeah.
still do it, but now it's 2 a.m. when we're going to sleep, but so yeah, we got to hang out with Cody, and I found out you're not supposed to shoot whiskey or yeah, bourbon, I guess.
Sip
Yeah.
it, don't shoot it.
Yeah. I don't think you heard about that, Mike. So
No, I did not.
if you guys have listened or watched the podcast when we had Cody on, he's a big bourbon guy, big bourbon enthusiast. He has a lot of fancy bourbons and stuff. So we went out to eat with Cody, and he brought us back to his place after, and we were hanging out in his garage, and he brought out a bottle of bourbon. He had solo cups and gave us a little taste, and he poured us all one, and like I'm waiting, and he's like, yeah, you guys can go ahead and drink it. And, I'm a redneck that grew up on moonshine, so I just down the hatch. And then like Cody and Taylor are talking about it, like
The look on his face.
they're like, yeah, it's quite exquisite. And I'm like, yeah, that wasn't bad. I'm like, I handed Cody the cup, and he's like, "Oh, you shot it." I'm like, "Well, yeah." He's like, "Dude, you're not supposed. That's a $300 bottle, and you just shot it." And I'm like, "It was good." Sorry. So, yeah, learned that. Anyways, really off track. Super fun hanging out with Cody, but I enjoyed. We had the time to do that, and a lot of people stayed in practice and got tons of laps. And I guess they were practicing until like midnight or something.
Yeah.
But we definitely could have got a fourth qual in, you know, which would have been cool. But
Three's plenty.
Yeah, I enjoyed not, and hopefully next
It's
year.
RC racing, not RC qualifying.
Yeah, hopefully next year there's more entries to where the 3 qualifiers take us to 7 or 8 o'clock. But anywho's, with how fast we were able to move through the program, we were able to allow triple quals or triple A mains, and still be out of there by like 5 o'clock or something, 6 o'clock.
Even earlier than that, because I remember talking to Kevin, if we can meet up and stuff.
Oh, I think I
Yeah.
passed LCRC at like 5:30, and that was after awards presentation, hanging out for a little bit and everything.
Yeah.
So I think we were done racing at like 4 o'clock, 4:30.
Yeah.
But the triple A mains was super cool too, with all the classes. It made it so exciting. There was only like one or two classes, I think, that were like wrapped up with the winner in the first two. So it made it super exciting. Taylor got to try out carpet. How'd you enjoy that?
I don't.
Well,
no. Big thank you to everyone who offered for me to use a car. Hospitality, appreciate all of you guys. I took Shane Yoder's hoopty, is what I'm going to call it. I'm not going to go into the details of what it was or anything like that, but after the fact, last week, he kept sending me messages of, "I'm sorry," and then it'd be a photo, and it was like the cracked wheel that I was running on. The steering linkage like fell apart, and there was like cracked bulkhead and a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, it is what it is. But it was fun just to race and hang out with everyone.
Man, set you up for failure.
I know. I'm telling you, that's what he was doing on purpose.
and that's exactly why I didn't take up anyone's offers, because if I was trying it, I'd want something that just worked, and I know that doesn't happen on carpet. I didn't want to mess with it.
It was easy, like in a way, because like it's not far. You can see everything kind of right there.
Traction everywhere.
Yeah, traction. It was just hard to drive it. I'm so used to being on dirt and something loose because I don't trust it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then everyone else is so much faster, so you don't want to hurt anyone else's race.
Yeah, exactly. And I knew where I should be, which was not an expert of A main or anything like that.
Yeah,
so,
and it's nerve-wracking.
Yeah. So
The funny thing is, with carpet, the slower you go, the harder it is to drive.
It is, yeah. It's like with the supercars and stuff where they have the invisible elephant of downforce. You know, not saying these cars make that much downforce in that sense, but you definitely need to drive under speed. Weird. So there's carpet talk. You got anything else to add on carpet talk, Taylor?
nothing on carpet. I mean, if you want to move on, I've been doing club racing, going to my local club, Making Tracks. Shout out to them. They've been running a really good program. It's really cool to see. They've been having like on average just random weekends, like 120 some entries.
Oh, hell yeah.
And yeah, and a ton of new people. So it's really good for that facility where it's at, because it's bringing in like a ton of new people. I feel like they're not your kind of groups of people that would travel to other bigger races or anything like that. They're kind of getting their feet wet in the doors and stuff like that. You know, just the early 10 scale stuff like that. Been running my Mugen MSB1, runs flawless. Love that thing. Performs better than I can drive it, but been making, I don't know, top 5 every time I show up. Not that there's a ton in mod 2-wheel drive, but it does well. It's competitive. Really haven't changed much anything. I want to go up on a practice day sometime, but I don't even know if I'll have time yet before the end of the season. Just experiment with my shock package a little bit. I think I'm gonna change the pistons and some fluids and things like that. But and then the Mugen short course truck.
Oh yeah,
Debuted that kind of.
that
Yep.
cheater ride.
You call it as much of a cheater if you want, but I won't say it is because it's heavy, you know, and it's same wheelbase as the SL. So,
Cheater.
but yeah, converted Mugen to a 4-wheel drive short course 10th scale truck, and it runs awesome. It's pretty sweet.
It's like
Course
it's more than
2S.
that though. That thing has a lot of custom parts on it
Yeah.
to make it what it is,
Yeah.
which is neat.
It's
You know
not
what I
just
mean?
body posts and
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
wheels.
It's not just bolt on parts. Like it actually has custom
No.
Yeah.
stuff made for it.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Someone did that
Yeah.
one right.
Fortunately, like Mugen has so many cars and so many parts that a lot of what we call the custom parts are just like the axles because you narrow it down so much are just on-road axles from another car
Yeah.
and so and so. But once you figure out all the sizes and stuff like that, it's not too bad. Sweet.
It is super cool that it's pillow ball too.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, that's super trick. Mike,
That's all I got.
how's your carpet munching been?
Well, since what Motorama? That was the last episode. Was Motorama before that? Since then, I've raced 3 times. TR just had their finale for the season this past weekend. He does have another race next month, but the point series is officially over. So that was nice. That was a good race. I ended up taking third for the year, which was cool. It was what Jared, Jim, and then myself. For top three in that. And just because it's Brad, I got by 1 point, so Brad,
Mm-hmm.
you're welcome. I went to Arcs a couple weeks ago in Ohio in Ashtabula for the first time.
That track looks
Dude,
sick.
it's really cool. Like it's a nice place, loads and loads and loads of traction. The most carpet traction I've ever been on. And holy shit, are those guys fast up there?
It always seems like they have a monster
Like,
jump too. Like every
oh
layout
yeah,
I see
there
on
was a
Facebook.
yeah. Well, they run mod too, so
Yeah.
it's like it's a mod layout with bailouts for stock
Mm-hmm.
is really what it is. And they run 21.5. So, but yeah, no, holy shit, are those guys fast up there?
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's tough. Like I finished, I think, in the B main, and like yeah, it was ridiculous. It was fun though. It was a good time. I'd definitely go back now. Like knowing what I know now, um, I'd like to, I know I can improve. I know I can do better,
Mm-hmm.
but it'll be fun. But carpet maybe again next week, depending on the weather. If the weather's nice, go golfing. If it's not nice, Chris and I are gonna go to Beaver.
You should just go to PNB.
So yeah, no. Um, it's not after what I just found out, an hour ago. It's definitely not going to be in the cards.
Oh, well, I'm
So
sorry to hear that.
yeah, it's nothing bad. It just sucks that something's going to involve a shit ton of money. So
Did you blow up your Subaru?
no, might need to replace the roof. So yeah,
Insurance? Use that insurance?
no. Oh, well, I don't know. Like like I live in a townhouse, so it's split between me and my neighbor. And we both
Be
own
worth
them, so
checking
we're
into.
responsible. Yeah, I mean, like on his side, says he's having issues. My side, I'm fine. But that was a thought of mine over the last hour or so after I found out.
Yeah, because if there's like a big branch or something that hit it, it could be storm damage. You know.
Yeah, I mean, where we are, there's no trees at all in our vicinity.
But if a big branch flew there and hit it, Michael.
Yeah.
Just cut down a branch and just throw it up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It came from that tree over there.
Yeah.
Sir, this is a palm tree branch. Yeah, crazy winds.
It's a cactus.
I'm as surprised as you are.
The roof is 22 years old, so I don't see.
Is it just shingles?
Yeah, the asphalt shingles.
You guys gonna do steel or?
Probably not, because it's like 2 to 3 times more expensive. I know it lasts longer, but
Yeah, that upfront cost hits.
yeah.
Yeah.
That, and by the time the next one would fail, I probably won't be living here anyway. So
True. Well,
that's kind of the way I see it. It'd be your problem.
if anyone knows any good insurance frauds, I had Taylor's Camden Lime right now. I forgot to fix the names up. Whatever.
You know our guest is in the waiting room
Well,
too.
then I won't even move it. You'll just stay Camden Lime.
All right.
Let's roll the
Yeah.
intro and bring our guest on. Here it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Here it is.
Disclaimer. You're about to listen/watch a podcast hosted by a group of friends who tend to use vulgar language and profanity, and also enjoy pounding adult beverages. Viewer discretion is advised. Lastly, we may be making some bold statements. All views and statements made in this podcast do not reflect the views of any sponsors, guests, followers, or any supporters of this podcast. So be cool and don't get offended. Thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoy.
RC racing is boring to watch.
So I wanted to start out asking a whole bunch of questions that are non-RC related. Blondes or brunettes?
Take the win. Aiden in the 2 spot. A last turn.
Oh, that's Davey. Oh, goodbye. And we're back.
Oh. We're recording now.
Okay, perfect.
All right, then. Well, welcome, Camden Lime, coming back, joining the podcast. It's been almost a year, probably, hasn't it, since you were on?
Probably pretty close. I think
Yeah, it was sometime in the
last time I was on
summertime.
was after nationals or something,
Yeah,
or before nationals.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'll be the first to say it. It really seems like you've been just killing it the past few races. Like, you just, especially at DNC, you got first in e-buggy, third in nitro buggy, and then eighth in nitro truck. Stellar finishes against a stacked field. I mean, are you doing anything? Yeah.
The most stacked field.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
come on.
it was pretty surreal. Just kind of, I don't know, it just finally clicked. Like I haven't really had a weekend that clicked that well like that before, and which was weird because usually like at DNC I have a really good practice day and then it's just a mediocre weekend. But for some reason this year I had a really shitty practice day. It was like not good at all in the B sorts in like pretty much every class. I think besides nitro chuggy, which ended up being my worst result, which is funny. But yeah, I just after I don't know qualifying e-buggies, we started off and just kept cranking out zeros. I don't even know what was going on, but my e-buggy was unreal to drive. And yeah, I just kept putting in good clean runs, and it put me as TQ, which was pretty cool.
So from now on, you
awesome.
just got to throw practice and seating rounds and just.
Yeah, I mean, my practice wasn't that bad, but it wasn't anything to talk about for sure.
Yeah. Then
New plan.
I guess
no more
are we
practice.
just
you
diving
jump right
straight into
qualifying.
DNC? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
I was gonna say new plan. No more practice. You just dive right into qualifying.
Yeah.
Right?
No
Yeah.
practice.
I think that would have not worked. And I've just been running a lot more at home too, which has been helping. I don't know, just maturity. Even from the last time I talked to you guys, just maturity, just kind of realizing this is my job and I gotta put in the work. So I think it's just all coming together.
Leading up to DNC, before we even dive into that, did you run on that track beforehand? Were you allowed practice like weeks in advance? I don't know about that. I haven't visited that track or that facility, so.
Yeah, so I think it was about 2 weeks before they had a race there for Anthony Westergaard's factory track race.
Yeah.
And I went there, and me and Ryan Mayfield went out there, and they had Jermaine, all the Tally guys were there, and then me and Ryan came out, and it actually like I had the fastest cars there, but just really bad luck. Gremlins, E-buggy, I hit a car upside down on the back straightaway, broken arm while about to be in the lead. Nitro buggy, I broke lap 2, so it was definitely not a very awesome weekend, which I think I got all my bad luck out that weekend for DNC, you know what I mean? So, which was nice because at DNC I didn't really have any issues. But yeah, just we went and ran there, did a lot of testing. We stayed on Sunday to test all day and then left Monday morning. And yeah, productive day of testing. Um, found a good setup for not only me but also the S-Works team that they kind of all showed up with, and I think we showed up pretty good at DNC.
What sort of things were you testing on like Sunday? And lead us to what you kind of showed up with, and then how different was like the setup in some of your cars compared to what you left with on Sunday?
Um, a lot of just shock stuff, just because trying to make it as easy to drive in the bumps. Quite a bit of sway bar stuff, and then just some engine stuff. Um, it wasn't really like anything crazy, just doing little stuff here and there just to make the car just a little bit easier to drive or gain a couple tenths. You know what I mean? So yeah, nothing super crazy honestly on testing day. Like I wasn't trying new parts and stuff like that, but just on also just driving on the track was very productive too.
Yeah, I'm sure. Were you just overall trying to tweak that suspension combo and stuff like that to get through bumps and kind of like loomy type conditions, things like that?
Yeah, mainly just the bump stuff. Just making it as easy to drive in those bumps because they get pretty gnarly, and it gets pretty hard to drive for, especially for a 45-minute main. So just trying to figure out how to get the car the easiest to drive and be able to put in consistent laps.
That's a great point too. When you guys practice on those like Sundays and things like that after events and all that, do you guys stay up there and practice for like an hour straight sometimes? Or how do you build yourself up to get that endurance to race for a 45-minute Metro Main?
Yeah, I think on this Sunday I did one 30-minute moto. Just kind of had someone down there putting fuel in and just running consistent laps. But mainly just coming doing like a 7-minute run, coming back, doing a little change, going back up.
Yeah.
Um, Sometimes at home, yeah, I'll practice just like a 30-minute run, no wrecks. But I don't really practice like 45 or an hour minute main straight. You know what I mean?
Does it ever bother you standing out there that long, trying to be in the zone, concentrated for that long?
No, not really. Some like on the higher grip tracks, it definitely gets to you. Because you're kind of just driving on pins and needles, your butt puckered a little bit for an hour straight. So that definitely, you get off the stand, you definitely have a little bit of a headache for sure. But and also it definitely, if your car is easy to drive, it makes those mains go by a lot faster.
Yeah. Then leading into DNC, I kind of wanted to know, there had to have been like a point where you were like, wow, I'm actually like in the contention to like almost win this thing. When did that kind of hit and click with you?
I would say probably after the second round of e-buggy when I just locked it up after the first 2 rounds, I was kind of like the first round was whatever. I was in the B group, so could have been track, could have been something. Well,
Yeah.
then the next round was opposite water, so I TQ'd that one too. And I was just kind of like, all right, well, I mean, I wasn't the fastest throughout qualifying, but just putting like all three of my runs of qualifying were 99.1% consistency runs. So that was pretty legit to see, especially after the third round. Because I did quite a bit of changes just to try, and still running a 99 and getting it to 0 was pretty cool. So I would say after that second round, I kind of knew, and then like going into nitro buggy, I was pretty confident because our cars are pretty like the buggy. You can run the buggy and e-buggy pretty similar, so I was feeling pretty good going into round one.
Do you run like, this is for my knowledge, do you run like the same shock package kind of diff packages or close to the nitro buggy and the e-buggy,
Yeah,
or?
yeah, typically almost the exact same.
Oh, nice.
Um, yeah, at DNC the cars were identical.
Oh, that's sweet. Makes it
Yeah,
easy.
yeah, for sure.
Alex, you got some questions too? I don't want to take all.
Yeah. So, like, compared to last season, to where we're at so far in this season. You mentioned how you're feeling like it just kind of clicked. Do you notice anything that like anything particular that clicked, or anything particular you're doing differently or doing more of to help the clicking?
I don't really know, honestly. It just kind of happened. Like I just am showing up to the track with a little bit more confidence. Um, Doing changes that are smart, not dumb. You know what I mean? Like not throwing the fence at it. Just yeah, just putting in clean, consistent runs. Like especially the first round, that's a huge thing. Is just getting a good first round in. That relieves a lot of stress for the rest of the day. So you get that first round in good, and then you can kind of go at it for 2, 2, and 3 because you already have that good run to fall back on. So I don't know, just yeah, being a little bit more consistent. I think my speed's gotten even faster, which is good. Good to see. And yeah, my wrenching program's a lot better. Just everything kind of just is falling into place like it should.
I really liked your comment about maturity because you're what 20, 21 now.
21.
21. I mean, I'm sure these guys can say the same thing, but I know like that phase between 18 and like 23, like you just grow up so much and you change, like your personality changes so much, so many different ways, and it all happens so fast. It's so crazy. Like if I could talk to like 19, 20, 21 year old me, that me would not believe anything about current me. Like
Yeah, it's kind of almost annoying to look back on now because it's like at 18, I was or 19, I was out of high school and this was like my full time job. And if I would have just put in quite a bit more work, um, been at the track 2 or 3 more days a week, or you know, wrenched on my program 2 weeks before instead of the day before, you know what I mean, stuff like that. I feel like I would be at a further spot,
hmm
but I'm really happy with where I'm at right now, and yeah, I'm excited for the rest of the year for sure.
yeah, I definitely expect to see a lot of improvement out of you throughout. I mean, we already see a good bit, and we're only what three or four races deep into this season and coming up
Yep.
on P&B. So, do you have any uh thing you plan on doing for P&B special or different?
No, I've always been like decent there, just kind of stacking up like tens. But I think now with my cars, the tires, my motor program, everything's really good, and my driving's been really good. So hopefully, just gonna go there and put in some good results and kind of see where it puts me.
Gotcha, gotcha. And you brought up tires, and you're still on the promotion team. So I know they like changed their compounds or offered new compounds again. How do you feel about those? How are those treating you?
They've been really, really good. Yeah, we have a new compound right now, or new compound. So it's just a revised rubber. Um, it's kind of the same compounds like T1, T2, T3, etc. Um, but they've been really, really good. Just creates a lot more grip, a lot more stability, and yeah, they're just really, really. They're making a lot of strides, which I'm excited, and I'm always happy to be part of a company making strides like that.
Yeah. Do you have any part of like the development side with the rubber? Like, do you have a good bit of input to the owners and everything, or?
Yeah, we have a good group chat with the factory team. That's me, Taylor Sontag, Spencer Hecker, and Cole Ogden. And we get prototype stuff, or Tyler will send us stuff, and we'll go run it, say yay or nay. You know what I mean? And if it's good, then he'll start making a little bit more, and we'll keep running it and trying it at different places, and to make sure it's good for the customers.
So how many different short course tires do they have mustered up so far?
I have no clue about that. I'm not a short course guy, so
It's pretty lame.
At
no
least
clue.
one.
Yeah, we know of
At
one.
least one. At least
Yeah,
one.
I
Yeah.
we know of one. Yeah,
Yeah.
At least one.
we
I
saw
know
it. We saw it at Motorama. Yeah.
that.
It needs to be released soon because I've won it.
Yeah.
It did look sweet.
Yeah.
You kind of mentioned something too that I wanted to touch on. You glazed over a little bit. You had a 99.1% consistency, uh, and that's not easily achieved on one of the roughest tracks of the what we'll call the circuit.
Yeah.
that's incredible. Like that
Yeah, it
needs to
was
be talked about a little bit more here, Camden. Let's not glaze over that. To have that consistency on the roughest track, possibly that the pros race on, the main circuit for the most part. Uh, how did you end up getting to that consistent for that track and that surface?
I think my car was just that easy to drive. Um, Tires were on point. My driving was on point. And after the first round, like you could get away with 99% consistent. I mean, even 99 is just on tracks in general are super hard. Um, but after the first round, it was still pretty smooth because they refix the track every morning or every night. The second round when I did it, I was pretty shocked. And then when I looked at it, I was like, I'm gonna try and get another one for the third round and see because that'd be pretty cool. And when I went and looked, I was pretty shocked. I was like, damn, that's pretty impressive.
Absolutely. Uh, Now, when we watch it, obviously we weren't there on the West Coast, but trying to watch Elite, or I believe Elite covered it, right?
Live RC.
RC. Okay, Live RC. I'm sorry. My apologies. But when they're following the cars around, obviously they don't stay with your car the entire time. But were you taking the same line over and over, or did you have to try and find yourself looking for the smoother options, stuff like that, throughout the race?
Um, Definitely you got to change your lines there. I was like from the first round to the third round, my lines weren't that completely different. I think just because my car was that good through the bumps, so I didn't really have to find the smooth line. Like my car was taking the bumps up nicely. So, but for nitro buggy, definitely had to from Q1 to Q3, my lines were quite a bit different. So the track got a
Yeah.
lot more bumpier for nitro buggy day.
And then Alex kind of alluded to the PMB thing. I wanted to touch on that just a little bit because PMB, as we record this, is coming up in what, like 4 or 5 days? When are you leaving out for that?
I fly out on Thursday, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
Thursday morning, and then get there Thursday like 2 or 3.
so do you have anything different loaded into your cars setup wise to get going for PMB, or a different tire choice, anything like that, to like hit the ground running out of the hole, or you just gonna stick with what you had in DNC?
I mean, different stuff like different pistons. Diffs will be a little different, like little stuff, but pretty much the same thing that I go there every year with, and then just kind of work my way from there on practice day and make the car as fast and easy to drive as possible.
When you say different, I'm trying to break it down for the other people too, that will be in the similar situations. Are you going to thicker diffs, thinner diffs?
Yeah, a little bit thicker diff, just because the track. I might start on a pretty soft diff, but definitely throughout the weekend I'll be on thicker diffs towards the end of
Yeah.
the weekend just because of it gets decently high grip. And then
Mhm.
at DNC I was on 6 hole pistons. I'll definitely be on 8 to start the weekend now at PNB. So and then maybe a little stiffer spring. Just some stuff that I know will be better later on at PNB, and I'll just start with it. You know what I mean?
I see a lot of guys with some brands will stick with the same kind of piston combo and setup, and then just kind of change the fluids. Once in a while, change a spring, but most of the time, change the shock position, stuff like that. Do you guys normally change the shock pistons themselves quite a bit?
Not really. Like, there's only 2 I really run. It's the MIP 6 holes, or I run just S-Works stock 8 hole. Um, Kind of just depends on the track. Like Silver State, DNC, Wicked Weekend. I think we're still on 8 hole, and then like pretty much every race after that was still on 8 hole. So there's just a couple times I'll change piston, but typically I just run 8 hole.
Got it. Now, what recommendations do you have for a first-time newcomer to PNB?
Uh, that race is pretty gnarly. Get a lot of sleep. Um, if you didn't feel like you got a lot of practice in, go at like 3 in the morning because the line's typically a little shorter.
I'm cutting that
But
part
then
out.
sometimes you show up at 3 a.m. and everybody else has that idea, and then you're still in line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, just don't be hard on yourself. That track's super hard, super big. Um, yeah, that race is just one of a kind. It's pretty. I definitely leave there every year like tired.
Yeah, I
Is
was.
that the biggest track that you guys race at?
It's probably pretty close.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Kind
say
of
I
hard
think
to
Alex is
say,
gonna be
but it's
surprised how
definitely the
big that
biggest
place
indoor
is.
race we do
Yeah.
for sure.
I was just even looking at like the entry list. I'm running intermediate e-buggy and open e-truck, and so I'm just like looking at the other drivers I'm with, and I'm like, ooh, I'm fucked. I'm like, those are a lot of fast dudes.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah,
super
the
stoked.
competition usually there is always pretty big and
Oh yeah,
pretty hot and heavy. So it always makes for some good racing, especially with the Joker lane. It's pretty cool for spectators.
yeah. I've never got to do a Joker lane either, so I can't wait to screw that up. So
I just don't do it the first lap.
I feel like I'm gonna forget to do it.
Yeah, that I never forgot to do it, but I've done it on the first lap when you're not supposed to, and
Yeah,
that round was I got DQ'd. So
dummy.
Yeah.
Spencer Hecker did it in the main once. I think he did it first lap, and
That sucks.
he started a lot. He started a lap down. I was like, damn, that sucks.
Yeah,
Just because he did the Joker lane first lap.
yeah. Um. Oh.
What other recommendations? I'm sorry. I'm just
No,
gonna
you're
cut
good.
Alex
You're
off.
good.
What other recommendations do you have for like the other people going to PMB for like places to go out to eat, things like that? Do you not leave the track that often, Camden, or?
Typically I don't. So hard to remember. Like once I get there, I remember everything, but
Yeah.
before you go to so many places, you
Oh
forget
yeah.
pretty easily.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what's around there.
There's a lake.
I'm honestly blanking, dude. I have no clue.
It's all right.
I have no clue. I cannot remember. I can't remember if this one. I know one of the race time races. There's no food around. I'm pretty sure this one does.
Yeah,
I
this
know
is like
AMS
right in
for sure
Knox.
is got. Yeah, what's that?
It's like kind of near Knoxville, and like White Pines up.
Yeah, that's where I
Good
fly into.
area.
It's like 45 minutes.
Yeah. Mike,
Yeah, I'm blanking. I have no clue. I'm
Mike,
gonna be in the same boat as them. So
what do you
Yeah.
got, Mike?
As in anything specific? Nothing right now.
Nothing on your
Just-
mind.
Not really.
Everything.
Other than my pillow is calling my name.
Oh my goodness.
I've had a long day.
Oh my.
me too.
goodness.
I woke up with 102 fever today. So
Oh no way.
Damn.
yeah. Hopefully I get it out before PNB.
Yeah, you got a week.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be on the water today with Mayfield and never got to that one. I was
Oh,
like, yeah,
man.
dude, I'm in bed, bro.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
making it.
I was gonna ask how that was, but I guess not so hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I spent it laying down in bed.
Yeah. How's Arizona been treating you overall?
Good. Yeah, I couldn't imagine living anywhere else. I love it out here.
When we were talking beforehand, you were like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be out on the water," and I think when you're talking to me at that point in time, it was like 30 some degrees over here where I'm at, and it
Yeah,
was snowing, and I'm like, "Water?" I was like, "Oh yeah,
Frozen.
Arizona
we're in
time."
the triple digits already. We've hit 100.
Oh,
Yeah, pretty wild.
Yeah, it snowed yesterday where I live.
Yeah, I just asked Ryan. He asked him if he went. They do wake surfing. He said, yeah, it was a little cold at first, but then he got used to it. So,
I was
but they were able to actually get in the water, which is
that's
always
nice.
fun.
I was washing my camper yesterday, preparing for LCRC. That was camper prep weekend, and yeah, I woke up, walked outside. There was snow in my car, and I'm like, fuck, and had to wash it. And as I'm washing it, there's like icicles coming off of it with the pressure washer, and
Yeah,
yeah,
my
fuck
dad's
you.
been stoked because he owns the HVAC company, so he's been really busy. So
Oh,
he's
I'm
like,
sure.
yeah, keep it up, baby.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure that's a great business to have out there.
and your
Definitely.
dad also, what's his position with S Works? I know it's something, right?
Yeah, so he's a team manager. Kind of overlooks all the intermediate, like 50% guys. And then yeah, he just does a lot of emails and stuff for S Works America. And then we have like Robert Battier is our like world team manager, so he's the manager of me, Mason, and Caden.
Okay, cool.
He does all the intermediate and all the intermediate guys, and does all the emails and does approves people on the team or not on the team. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Now, I seen Chicky and Dakota were at Thornhill this weekend testing for gnats. Are you going to be making any trips down that way to test as well?
Yeah, I'll do the Lone Star. I think that's about the only one I'll do. Maybe try and get out. It's hard because you have to go there on a race weekend because the track. Talking to B Rose, he's one of my good buddies. It's like one of his home tracks.
Yeah.
You have to go there on a race weekend because the track gets way more grip compared to just like on a practice day. So
Okay.
yeah, just try and get out there for sure. Lone Star. I know all the Europeans are coming to that, so that should be a good race. And then maybe try and get out there one more weekend.
What's the race program look like for the rest of the year? What events all do you have lined up, Camden?
PNB for sure now. Like that's the closest one. Pretty much all of them. I don't know. I just look at my calendar and go to the race. All the race time races, nationals, worlds, the U.S. Open, RC Pro Am, and the Fall Brawl. Usually try and get out to those.
Yeah.
And then like there's a couple like other races that I might end up going to, like maybe Mugen Challenge.
That's where I was going. I was going to see if we could sweet talk you into that one.
Try to get to there or end up at the North or Georgia Peach State, I think it is called, that I went to last year. So there's a couple of those events that it just depends on, one, how I'm feeling, or two, like the schedule, you know what I mean? Because I'm pretty sure the Mugen Challenge is around World time, right?
No, Worlds is in September.
It's before it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's before.
Yeah, we're several weeks before.
Okay. Well, then maybe I can try and make it up to that.
Yeah, I think you can.
Are you planning on Adrenaline Invitational as well, or is it on your radar?
Probably too. Yeah. I forget. That race is super fun. I'm definitely gonna try and get to that one.
Sweet.
I had a lot of fun there.
Yeah, there's honestly so many events. I can't keep track.
I know that like they got together, the powers that be of all these sick events got together this year and like tried to coordinate well, trying to make sure everyone gets a piece of the pie, so the people that are willing to travel across the country can do that. So
yeah, like January was pretty gnarly with Silver State and Tinar, and then I Costa Rica. Like after that, came back. Next weekend I was at Factory Track Race. Came back a week off. And it was 2 weeks off at DNC. Went to DNC. Came home on Monday. Drove straight to Mexico. Meet my family out in Mexico. So I finished at DC and drove right there, which was a nice little. I was already planning on doing it, but then I had a week, so it made Mexico a little bit better. You know what I mean? A little celebration kind of thing. All the my mom's friends were there, and they watched the race, so they were all excited to see me. But yeah, it's just like never stops, dude. It's just go, 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 go. Come home, spend 3 days in the garage, and you're flying out to the next race.
You alluded to your wrenching program has upped the game here just a little bit. What's it look like for you going from DNC now getting ready for PMB for each of the cars?
Yeah, just taking them fully apart. Taking front clip, rear clip, motor, turbo tray, take everything out, inspect it, get it down to the bare chassis, and then kind of just work from there. Get the front end apart, check all the bearings, re-oil some of the bearings if needed. Obviously, do the diffs, the shocks. Just kind of going through everything, making sure there's no nothing that could break, or sometimes setup changes, so you have to adjust before you go to the next event. So just stuff like that.
Are you dropping them into ultrasonic cleaners and stuff, kind of like we do, or are you just wiping them out? And
I just take them apart, blow them off, and then I use Ultimate Dirt Off, which that cleaner is amazing. You guys should definitely check it out. And it makes my cars look brand new. Like this is my e-buggy with the Ultimate Dirt Off in it. I mean, it looks pretty brand new.
All right. How often are you changing some of the parts out? Like, say, speed controls, things like that, when you're racing at some of these high levels? Like, I was just curious, like, some of these races we're going to, pretty high temperature, stuff like that. And then you have a lot of stakes on the line as well. So to have, like, random little gremlin failures or something like that as a possibility. Of course, you don't want that. I was just wondering how often you're changing like the motor, and the electronic stuff, and the speed controls and some of this.
Typically just once a year. I kind of start the year off with a new one, and then like if needed, like if it feels a little worn or like starts glitching out or something, then you obviously change it. But typically, yeah, I go through one a year and don't really have any issues with the Tekin Racing stuff, the RX-8, and then I run a 1900 Gen 3 motor, and yeah, don't have really any issues with it.
How often
Oh,
do you
nice.
stuff bearings in that bad boy?
The motor,
Yeah.
never.
Really? You just
Yeah.
buy a new like hypothetically buy a new motor in January and
Yeah,
okay. Because
and then I obviously have spares.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
if
Yeah.
but I went through the whole year with last year with the same ESC motor and had no issues.
Yeah. I
Do you break the ESC case at all?
I've never broken one of those. The only thing I do change quite a bit, like almost race to race, like typically go through 2 or 3 races with it, is the sensor wire. I'll change that quite a bit.
Yeah. I actually learned that from Drake here kind of more recently, how often he's changing his.
yeah,
And
they're disposable.
that's a program I need to up mine here a little bit because I've been running like the same one for like a couple seasons. And
Yeah. Yeah, I have like 10 sensor wires on me at all times.
yeah, I have a bunch, but I just usually leave them in. And just
Every time I order from Tekin, I order a couple sensor wires.
Yeah, I always order a bunch and yeah, just keep on top of them for sure.
Has anyone ever explained or found out why the sensor wires sometimes just seem to glitch out and go bad?
I think they're just so thin.
Yeah, I think the wires, yeah, so thin and gets a little nick or something and cause it. I mean, I don't know, to be honest, because you would think after a while you have 3 or 4 sensor wires go bad that it's either the motor or ESP plug, and it typically is just a sensor wire. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I have no clue honestly, but I just change them to be on top of it and make sure there's no issues.
What suggestions do you have for people traveling to some of these races? Because that's I don't have to travel. Luckily, I just load the stuff up in my truck, and I'm not traveling as far as you guys internationally and across the country and all that. What suggestions and helpful hints do you have for people traveling with all your RC stuff?
Most people, their first time traveling, will bring like 6 OGOs. They'll bring everything that they can possibly bring. You know what I mean? And I show up to the race with 2 OGOs and sometimes some of my tires. So you just being smart about what parts you bring. Like you kind of look at your car and say like, oh, I've broken this quite a bit. Let me bring a couple of these, stuff like that. And usually there'll be people at the race, or they'll have Beach RC will be there, or HRCR. All these hobby shops around the world will be there, so you can easily get parts. Yeah, just being very smart about all the. You don't have to bring every single part for your car. You know what I mean?
It makes tons of sense, especially with the price of carry-ons and stuff like that seem to be going up quite a bit.
Yeah, I just got my PNB flights. I got
And we're back.
I got them a little. It was like a $740 flight or something like that.
Oh, geez.
Yoink.
I was like, yeah.
Well, now's a good time to take a quick commercial break so I can use the potty. First off, we're going to thank off our friends at ACS. Tony, going to come see you this week. I need more stickers. If you want a sticker at P&B and you're there, come find me. Thank you to Tony and Colleen at ACS.
So, how do you hobby? At ACS Hobbies, we've got everything to fuel your passion and spark your creativity. Whether you're into RC cars, model trains, boats, or planes, we have a huge selection of kits, parts, and accessories. Need paints or tools? We've got you covered. Test your skills on our RC crawler course or race on our oval track. There's always something fun to do. Plus, discover an awesome range of games for all ages. ACS Hobbies is your ultimate destination for hobby enthusiasts. Visit us today and start building your next adventure.
And we're back. Mike?
Shit.
Still waiting
I
for
just
that
had-
bet.
What's that? Yeah,
Still
right.
waiting for that pillow.
I know, right? Man, I forget what I was gonna ask. There was just dude.
He
So
had all
last time
first
you were-
break.
Wake up.
Yeah, right.
Wake up.
No, but I did think of something though. No, last time you were on here, we were talking a little bit about your golf and stuff like that. Are you making time for yourself, especially since you're just being so busy? Like, what
I
are
haven't
you?
played. I haven't played in so long, unfortunately. Um, Actually, before DNC, I did a trip up north, northern Arizona, with all my high school friends, and me and my buddy Jack. We got out for a round, which was a lot of fun. I hadn't seen him in a couple months, so the drinks were flowing pretty good. We had to make the girls come pick us up. We were having a good time. But I'm actually probably gonna play depending on how I feel. Definitely gonna try. I'm gonna try and play on Wednesday because my dad does a Wednesday 9-hole league
Okay.
with a bunch of people, money game. So I'll try and get out to that a couple times.
Make some time for yourself.
Yeah,
Disconnect.
right now it's pretty go go go.
Yeah.
I was gonna kind of say, like, could you say contributing to your success has been not playing golf a little bit because you've been investing more time into the RC and practice and things like that? But
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like Saturday I could have went and played golf, but instead I went to the track. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I had the day off on Saturday, like I had nothing going on, but I still decided just to go run breaking a new motor. You know what I mean? So I guess you could say that a little bit that I haven't planned playing golf as much. That kind of helps a little bit with racing, but I mean I think golf actually does help me because it just that's my like stress
Your
relief. You know what I mean?
disconnect, yeah.
But the thing is I probably get more pissed off at golf than I do racing.
funny.
I think that's every golfer. And then you
But
have
like,
that
yeah,
one
when
to
I
get
was
shot.
that's one thing too. When I was, senior year of high school, I was making a lot of moves in RC. Like I was making semifinals and more mains, and then I was also playing high school golf. So both of those were my priorities. So it was kind of hard to pick one or the other. You know what I mean? Um, and I ended up picking RC. Like I think I could have went played college golf. Like I had a couple schools talk to me coming out of high school. But yeah, I just ended up doing the RC thing. And I know everybody that's listening to this is going to say, "Oh, why don't you do golf? You can make way more money in that." It's completely different. Like it's so hard to get to that next level in golf.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to do it in RC too. I just got gifted with it. You know what I mean? I was just more naturally talented at RC than I was at golf. But yeah, like I still try and play a couple tournaments a year and get out and have a good time.
I wonder.
Just say what
Oh,
watching the different YouTube channels that I do about like I don't know if you watch YouTube golf at all.
Yeah,
But like like Brad or Dalkey for instance, and like those guys talk about spending these guys spend tens of thousands of dollars out of their own pockets to chase pro golf.
Yeah.
And only a small handful
And-
actually make it.
and that guy
know.
is unreal at golfing, and he's still not.
He is.
He could be pro. I think. Like people say that it's kind of like a controversy thing. I think he could be pro. But like where I was compared to him, he was 10 steps above me. You know what I mean? Like I was just gonna go to like a D3 school, whereas he was. He won a national championship playing at OU. So,
Yeah.
like I had a buddy from high school. He plays at OU. He might have graduated now, but he's going to the tour and like he's played in U.S. Opens and stuff like that. And just playing around with him and the mistakes he makes compared to me it's honestly crazy to watch. Like I'm sure it's the same way from like a C main pro guy watching Mayfield go around the track. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
wow, that's a big jump. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. That's why like for us, like when you guys come to like our considered home track, like LCRC for example, watching you guys throw down with our locals and having like our local guys keep up with you guys, that's awesome to see. You know what I mean?
for sure.
Because we know you guys
get
are
the
that.
top locals. I remember going out there and getting my butt kicked by quite a few of them.
Yeah, it's just it's really cool to see that because like you are the 0.1%, you know what I mean, of the RC racer. But
Touching on
Um,
that, Oh,
Yeah.
go if you got
No,
more.
go
Mike.
ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, are there any other like tracks regionally that you kind of travel around to, where the locals are like really good mixed in with you guys at the national top tier pro level that you can think of?
Yeah, I mean, all the California guys, going out to California, that like their pro class is pretty legit. Like, obviously you have Jermaine Robinson, who's been killing it this year. Like he just had some mistakes at DNC, but he could have easily won all three classes. Like he had insane pace there. Then you got a lot of guys like Spencer Heckert, who's still like on the pro tour. Drake is still on the pro tour. And then you got a lot of the guys that aren't fully on the pro tour, but are pretty close, like Carlos Arredondo, Jimmy Fishback. There's quite a few guys out in California that are like you go there and it's like you're not just gonna win. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you got to put in the work to even battle with them. You know what I mean? So, like little Frankie Contreras Jr. He's been super fast everywhere. Doesn't get to travel to all the races, but even out there though, that kid is super hard to beat.
I was just kind of wondering, like some of the unknown names, like all those ones you kind of mentioned for the most part, like Fishback, Frankie, all those. I know of all those guys. Like for our local, like say like Greg Harmer's one that took out Aiden Horn here at one of the races, and
Scheffler.
I remember watching that.
yeah, and we got a few. Schreffler, he's pretty decent for the most part.
Yeah,
Usually
you guys have
runs
a bunch.
pretty
You
closely.
got Gibbler, Gavin Vucina. Like, there's quite a few guys out there that I know, and like Gavin's a good buddy of mine, so I talk to him every
Gavin's
now
pretty
and
cool.
then. Yeah, he's a cool kid.
Gary, right?
Which Gavin?
Or
Yeah,
which Gavin?
Gibbler.
Yeah, he's not bad.
Yeah.
Love you, Gib.
Yeah.
And I know Gavin Vucina too, because from promotion, talked to him a little bit.
Nerd.
Yeah.
We always refer to him as Gary.
Yeah.
Gary.
Yeah.
Yep.
We have 3 Gavins in our immediate area, so he's Gary. So
Yeah.
Well, we have 4.
Yeah, but is there
yeah.
any other like
Yoder? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't thinking
And
Yoder.
Nipple.
But
Don't forget
that
Nipple.
makes the 4.
Yeah,
Okay.
that makes the 4.
And the Gibster and Fucino.
And almost all of them are spelled differently.
They are all spelled differently, aren't they?
Yeah.
The Gavin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
INENYN.
I think another one's
I could have
an
sworn
EN.
Vucina's is IN, and so is Gibbler's. No, aren't they both IN?
No, Gibbler's EN. Or
Oh yeah, you might be right.
I'll look on the Facebook.
Yeah. But
You might be right.
regionally, I'm talking about these people that that aren't known, I guess, and don't have sponsors, things like that. Are there any, like, say, Florida tracks or anything like that? They're just like some groups of insanely fast people.
I kind of think, yeah, every track you go to, there's always going to be a local kid or guy who's super fast. That kind of just knows the dirt, knows how to drive on it. You know what I mean? Like when people come to Adobe, it's probably pretty hard for them to beat me just because I run there a lot.
Yeah.
And like if I went to say, I don't know, at the Adrenaline Invitational is a perfect example. Lee was really fast there. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think you always have like those people that maybe aren't super known or mainstream in RC that will give you a run for your money. For sure at those like just pretty much all the tracks. You kind of meet new people that you're like, oh hey, that kid's really fast. Like I remember at the Adrenaline Invitational, I think his name was Ben Decker. He was super fast. He was really impressive to watch. So yeah, like I didn't know who that was until watching him there, and I was like, wow, this kid's really fast.
Yeah,
like,
he's legit.
Yeah, Ben's local to us and travels around doing both 10 scale and 8 scale outdoor.
Yeah.
All our regional stuff. He's picked up quite a bit in the last few years.
Yeah, he's been like
a
rocket ship over the past year, especially.
And then we have some local kids here, like Mario Rudy. He runs S-Works. He's an intermediate guy. He's super fast. He's like legitimately me probably 6 years ago. Like maybe not the best wrench or driving a little too hard when you're not supposed to, but like he's definitely got the talent to be something in this one day. And then we have 2 kids. One named Reed Saunders, who just won Sportsman, I think like 2 or 3 or 4 of the classes or something like that at DNC. So he was super fast. He's gonna be really good. And then we have a kid named Zachary Dykehouse who is also really fast. And I think Reed and Zachary are maybe 11 or 12, if that. Like they're super young. So it'll be really cool to help them and watch them kind of grow up in RC.
Now, for these kids that aren't well known and all that, and just kind of super fast at their regional level and all that, what advice would you have for them to either do better or to steer clear of RC at all, to never talk to a girl, things like that, if you want to be fast, to not get distracted?
I mean, for sure, talk to girls. I mean, come
Yeah.
on, you got to do that. I had my fun, like especially my like senior year of high school. I definitely had my my share of fun, so I think I got that mainly out of the way. But I would say just like one, don't put too much pressure on yourself to make this like a job. You know what I mean? Like you guys said, it's only like 0.1% of RC racers that are making any money from this. So um, yeah, don't put too much pressure on yourself. Like that's one thing too is I don't now I put a little bit more pressure on myself because it is my job. But when I was trying to make it my job, I was putting way more pressure on myself to do good at the races and get good results to start getting paychecks and stuff like that. And then yeah, just put it in the work. Like I know my little buddy Reed, he runs at least once, maybe 2, 3 times a week. So he's putting in a lot of run time. And also, if you're a younger kid, if you do good in like sportsman, move straight up to intermediate because you're only going to get faster running with faster guys. So that's what I always did. My dad wouldn't let me. Like I think it was 2015 DNC. I got second in Nitro Truggy Sportsman, bumped up to intermediate right away. And then I think it was 2018 DNC. I got second in Nitro Buggy, bumped straight up to pro. So from 2018 to 2026 now, I've been in pro and I just got my first win. So it's kind of like first like big win. So I went through that whole time of 7, 8 years of just getting beat and beat and beat and beat and like it's pretty hard. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna really be hard on yourself. It's gonna suck. Like not winning, it sucks. You know what I mean? Because we all have a winner's mentality. Like you want to win, but it just takes time. And I just kind of stuck with it. And yeah, when I finally got that win, it definitely meant a lot.
Now, before we go back up to the high, let's talk about some of the lows. For you, what were some of the lowest lows that you've had through an RC career so far that like really made you question like what you're doing and if this is like the right choice?
Yeah, definitely like my senior year of high school, I was like trying to make this a living, but also like, you know, I was a senior in high school, like we were getting drunk with friends and, hanging out with girls and all this stuff, we were partying, having a good time. So it was kind of like I don't really know if like I want to do that, you know what I mean? Like I still want that's one thing that I'm glad I did is I made sure I still had my like youthful childhood years, I guess. Like
Yeah, you still got to be a
I still went
shithead.
to birthday. Yeah, I still like went and drank when I wasn't supposed to, or like lied to my mom and snuck out. You know what I mean? Like I still did all that stuff that teenagers do. You know what I mean? Which I'm happy I did because like I made a lot of friends that way and stuff like that. So, but some of the lows are just like for sure it was when my wrenching was, like I just didn't care. I was forgetting screws or not Loctiting screws and just break after break after break. It was draining. And you'd think you'd learn, but I think I was breaking so much at that point that I was just over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now, like, you go look at most of the results in the past year, I finished pretty much most of them. You know what I mean? So um, that definitely was probably the lowest of the lows. And then also just yeah, like you're in 2023, I made my first pro main at Silver State. I qualified fifth, which was pretty crazy. Like I didn't even qualify at the end. Like I qualified pretty high up, and I got like 15th in that main. You know what I mean? Like finishing that main, it was like really upsetting because I got 15th when I qualified fifth. But it was just a learning curve of being in the pro main, learning what those guys do, and now it's just yeah, every event I'm learning something new. Um, like the biggest thing I learned this weekend was leading laps against the best driver in the world. You know what I mean? Like Juan Carlos Canas was behind me for 10 minutes straight, breathing down my neck, and I didn't crack, which is signs of improvement. So I think now, like hopefully at PNB, we're going to be leading some laps, and I'll be more free. I guess I'll drive more free. I won't be driving so timid, knowing that someone's behind you that's fast like that and is relentless. So yeah, there was a lot of lows, a lot of highs, but I'm really happy with how my career's kind of turned out.
What advice do you have for somebody, say myself, asking for a friend to not crack under pressure? You're saying you have JC3 behind you, which, one of the best drivers in the world, and you're not cracking under pressure. Now, when I have, say, Alex Schultz behind me, um, you know, world-renowned
Short course
driver,
champion.
yeah, I'll even crack under pressure sometimes, just thinking about it. And then sometimes I'll watch his car too much to see what he's doing, and then I'll make a mistake. What advice do you have that got you to the point where you're at when you have who you know behind you, and you're still leading the laps, not making mistakes?
Yeah, I think part of it is probably running with Mayfield like on a not weekly basis, but monthly basis. Like we'll go out and run laps together. Um, just having him next to you on the driver's stand and running laps with you, that definitely helps. Like most people don't get that, so I would say I'm pretty lucky to have someone like him who is probably the greatest 8 scale racer of all time
Yeah.
that runs with you constantly and tries to pass you or you try and pass him, stuff like that. And then honestly, you don't really get to learn it. I mean, by running sportsman and intermediate, winning those classes, you kind of get an understanding of racecraft and how to manage a race. But like, I mean, yeah, the first lap of e-buggy main and DNC, I was shitting bricks. Like, there was no me not being nervous. Like,
Yeah.
I couldn't have done anything. Like, and I don't know what it was. I just put in a clean run and kept them behind me.
That's one of the funny, shocking things to me. It's like I ask a lot of the pro drivers and stuff. It's like, how do you not get nervous anymore? They're like, "Oh, I'm nervous as hell." Like,
Yeah.
and
Oh, for sure.
it
If
doesn't
you're not
show.
nervous,
So yeah,
if you're not nervous, you don't care. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So, um, yeah, sometimes I'll get nervous battling for fucking like 10th. You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
like you'll be in 10th place, and like, oh, I want to get ninth, and you're battling to the line. You're gonna have some adrenaline. You know what I mean? So, yeah, if you don't have that, then obviously you don't care. Which is, I mean, I think after time, like I'm sure Ryan doesn't get super nervous. I'm sure he still does get nervous, but
yeah.
I'm sure he's a lot more comfortable than like me or Heckert or B Rose or people like that are on the verge of being the number top five guy in the nation or whatever. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Which B Rose probably is, but um, yeah, it's tough. I mean, you just gotta deal with it.
What's some of the
There's
best
nothing you
advice
can
that?
really do.
Oh,
Like I
good.
looked up even before the intro buggy, man. It's kind of embarrassing, but I looked up how to not be nervous, and it told me to go on a 10-minute walk. So I did a 10-minute walk right before my main.
Do that again. You just gotta
Yeah,
keep doing it.
maybe I need to start doing that.
Yeah, yeah,
But I was really nervous, dude. Like that whole morning, my stomach was pretty naughty, and like trying to eat food was not very easy. And I just made sure I kept hydrated, had a couple energy drinks, and went out there and put in a good run.
Do you stick to like any sort of diet at all or anything, especially when you're traveling and you got to stay focused and like you can't say, I don't know, maybe you can because you could be younger and having stronger stomach sometimes than I do anymore, but go out and eat, 3 quesadillas from Taco Bell, 20 minutes before a 45-minute nitro main, like,
No, I
um,
don't think I don't have like a diet that I mean
yeah,
I honestly eat pretty shitty and like I mean I'll eat pretty good. Like we'll make food at home, but like when I'm at work I'll go stop at Taco Bell or Sonic or something like that. But like water wise, I've been doing this more recently, which has helped me out a lot. Is just like I usually like main day I'll bring 2 electrolytes and then like sometimes 2 Red Bulls, and I'll drink a Red Bull and then slam an electrolyte, and then I'll drink the Red Bull like another Red Bull like maybe an hour and a half before the main, and then just sip on that electrolyte till the main, and then obviously pounding waters in between that. I think being super hydrated and like having a clean mind, like clear mind, definitely helps a lot. So I've been doing that since probably Silver State, I've been kind of like doing that little program, and it's been
Yeah.
helping quite a bit.
You don't find the caffeine makes you like too hyper or anything like that?
No, that's why I do it quite a bit early. Like I couldn't do it like before the main, you know what I mean? So
Okay.
I'll do it like an hour and a half before, and obviously also slamming electrolytes. So hydration is always pretty good before I go out for a main. And yeah, just I've always kind of wondered that. That's why I've always like since I've started, I've done it 2 hours before. Like I don't drink the Red Bull right before.
Yeah, because I'm an absolute stimulant junkie. Like I just live off pretty much caffeine, all sorts of stuff like that. And at races, I've noticed if I'm drinking a bunch or have like a Monster, Rain, whatever, and I'll feel it a little bit in my like steering inputs, like just a little twitchy or something like that,
Yeah.
more than it should. So I've been trying to not have so much, caffeine or anything beforehand.
Yeah.
It's great for me, mental clarity and all that. But
Yeah.
as far as like my hand being a little shaky or twitchy, at least for me. So I was kind of curious about that.
Yeah, I think I've just done it always pretty before that. I don't think I've ever used that before, but like I said, I've always done it quite early.
So with you were speaking on like electrolytes and hydration, and like it makes a lot of sense because the brain loves water. But have you ever messed around with creatine yet?
I've never done that before.
So
That's amazing. I think Mason or Caden Fuller does something like that. I don't know.
yeah,
For like working out, right?
well, creatine is just powder, or Taylor can probably. You want to just explain it better because I'm gonna butcher it. I'm sure, Taylor.
Yeah, but this is a pretty long conversation. I'm not sure if we want to go down too much.
I'll
but,
butcher it then.
So do you want to?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Do you know what adenosine phosphate is?
That's the rabbit hole we aren't going to go down.
Okay.
I have no clue what that is either.
So simple terms.
I know water, electrolytes, Red Bull, and Michelob Ultra.
Make you slim. So simple terms is creatine helps your muscles stay saturated with water and
no. Helps ATP, adenosine triphosphate, and it just helps pull in some water molecules through the process.
So basically, it helps your muscles.
Beyond my pay grade, dude.
Yeah.
It helps your muscles stay saturated. The point I'm getting to is your brain is a muscle that loves water. So anything to stay hydrated, and I know creatine has been proven. Like, well, hydration's key, but also creatine helps with like cognitive abilities, memory, focus, stuff like that. And I do 10 grams of protein a day myself. I don't know if Taylor dabbles in any, but I know just doing that myself, it helps me a lot at work, just staying focused and stupid stuff like that.
I've taken 5 grams for almost daily for, I don't know, 15 plus years. But the new research is as far as the cognitive abilities, and it's shown a lot of positive benefits on Alzheimer's and stuff like that, reversing some of the effects of that. But all of that research is usually 10 to 15 grams type dosage. And there's other things too they can take that helps cognitive abilities. Some of the new peptide stuff like methylene blue, NAD+, other things like CoQ10, and also electrolytes and all that, just like what Camden's doing, is pretty essential too. Mm-hmm. You got to make sure you just have the basics too. A lot of people just don't even have the basics.
Right.
Before you start trying to go down a rabbit hole of supplementing things, it's just a Band-Aid. So I would say a lot of people just need to fix the basics of their nutrition before they start adding in supplements and all that. But that's a whole. I don't want to.
That's a really good rabbit hole. I'd love to go. That should be its own podcast, because I have a big and even with my improvements I've seen in the past year, because I've been getting bigger. Like before I got into the gym over the off season, I was getting bigger into nootropics, and I was taking anti-anxiety meds and stuff like that. And I'm a huge believer in like lion's mane and reishi and stuff like that myself, but it could be just snake oil. I don't know. We talked about it before, Taylor. The little jar of gummies that says, testosterone booster or whatever. Like, they're. How'd you explain it? It's like a 0.000% chance it can do anything. Otherwise, it would have to be a drug and illegal.
Yeah, supplement companies in general spend millions of dollars a year in research to only find something that works. It's a not literal number, but like 0.01%. Because if it actually works better than that, it'll get banned as performance enhancing drug.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever you're taking as far as a supplement actually can't work that well, or else it gets banned. So, and it goes towards there's gray areas like research chemicals, things like that. So as well, but yeah,
I'm not that deep into it.
You should be.
I just have electrolytes and water.
Yeah, no, he's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk for a long time. I don't want to get started on this too much.
Point is,
I'll talk forever.
stay hydrated.
Yeah.
I will come back to it.
I was gonna ask, what is some of the best advice that Mayfield's given you?
Mickey Slims.
I think just making fun of me, honestly. Like
Really?
like tough love, you know what I mean?
But that's the greatest friendships. Like
for sure.
Our friendships are always just based on roasting each other.
Yeah. He get me all the time. Like before E-Buggy started second, he came up to me, he's like, "Hey, if you're gonna blow out, just don't blow me out while you're blowing out." I'm like, "Thanks, man."
Good advice.
Like, that's exactly what I want to hear right now. Appreciate it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he ended up blowing out before I did. So
Nerd.
Oh
Nerd.
man.
but,
Yeah.
we'll I mean, yeah, just
Make
asking
sure we
him
clip
setup
this so we can
questions.
send it to him.
Yeah, just asking him like setup questions, tuning stuff. Like he's always willing to help. So yeah, I'm very thankful that I have him in my corner for sure.
Would you consider him like the big brother role model type thing in this whole scheme?
Yeah, I would. I mean, we're like more just like friends. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when we're like I was gonna go on the boat with him today. When we're out there on the boat, we don't really talk RC. We just talk.
Right. You hang out.
Cross or NASCAR,
Yeah.
or stuff we enjoy watching. So, but like definitely at the track, like I'll ask him questions quite a bit, and he always gives me a straight answer. So I respect him a lot for that, and very appreciative of him for that.
Speaking on NASCAR real quick, who's your favorite driver?
Ryan Blaney.
Yeah.
That's why I'm growing this out.
Yeah. That's my brother's guy.
It's weird because I used to be, when I was really little, used to be a Joey Logano fan.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason why is because back when I was little, he was running the Home Depot car, and I don't know, I just liked Home Depot when I was little, so I was a big fan of him. Now I despise him. I'm not a fan.
It's funny you say
But,
when you were little he was running Home Depot, because I'm only like 5 years older than you, but when I was little it was Tony Stewart running Home Depot.
Yeah. And then my parents' favorite driver when I was little was Casey Kane. But yeah, now I'm big Larson fan, big Blaney fan. Yeah, those are my two guys I root for the most. And it's really cool watching Tyler Reddick right now. Like he's just unreal.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I think that's cool that he's kind of just dominating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't a fluke. He's got the best car. So
yeah, no, he's definitely killing it.
What about Supercross?
I used to be a Chase Sexton fan, but I gave up on him. I mean, when he was on Honda, I was just a Honda fan, and he was on Honda at the time, so I was a big fan of his. And then the Lawrence brothers came on, and I'm not really a fan of the Lawrences, so I don't know why. Maybe because he wins so much. But right now, probably Ken Roxon. And then it's hard to root against Ken or Eli right now. You know what I mean? Because they're older and still doing really good. So, And I'm a big Cole Davies fan. He's pretty fun to watch.
You don't have love for Deegan?
I do, actually. I don't mind him. A lot of people don't like him, but I think he's good for the sport.
Yeah, I
Makes
love
it a
him.
lot more interesting. Yeah.
Absolutely, really good for the sport.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it can, like, sometimes you're like, all right, bro, let's chill out a little bit. But most of the time, I'm like, hell yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah. One of the
But yeah, like we do like a little fantasy thing, the RM fantasy. So we do the points and stuff. So we're all into that pretty hard. I think it's like got like Horn in there, Brunson, couple of the like Michigan guys. So that gets pretty intense.
That's fun.
One of the things I kind of want to finish up with, at least for my questions, is not so much a question, but just a statement of how cool it was to see everyone get together. When you won your A main e-buggy and walked off the stand, everyone got behind you. The congratulations, the support, the people that weren't even your sponsors, like Jason Rona, all your teammates, all the other guys, competitors or not competitors, everyone was so happy. You took that win, man. It was like even emotional almost for me just watching that. It was super cool. It was just one of the most badass things ever. It was
Yeah, it
so
was
cool to
pretty
see
hard
that.
coming down the stand. Like I didn't think like when I won, it was like I don't know. It's kind of just like at first it was just kind of feeling like finally got that done. And then when like Scotty was interviewing me and like I don't know the way he was talking, it got me a little teary eyed for sure. And I was like just listening to him like what he's saying. He's like, oh, like you just beat every best driver in the world. You've been looking up to Mayfield and Rifkin all these years, stuff like that. And you finally came out here won. How does that feel? And I was like, man, I didn't have words. Like it was pretty surreal. And then walking down the driver's stand, seeing my dad, like first person I saw, was pretty cool because he's been there like through everything for me. You know what I mean? Like he quit racing when I was like 5 to just take care of my stuff. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
it was super cool for him to be there and like be the first person I saw. And then yeah, like everybody else, I was just so like, grateful and thankful that everybody was excited for me to win. You know what I mean? So it means I'm doing something right. Like people like me, which is good. And then obviously like just just winning, it was the best feeling. Like you couldn't, I couldn't have written it up any better.
Absolutely. I was so happy, man.
Yeah,
Congrats.
it was
Like,
cool.
so that's all I got. What else you guys got? Or do you want to wrap up?
Good. Alex?
I got nothing. Nothing. Nothing coming to mind. Still.
Camden, I want to say thank you for coming on so much. Appreciate you taking the time to, even if you're under the weather or had other plans originally too when we were making this. Appreciate it so much. Thanks again and congrats on that win. It was so cool.
I appreciate it,
Uh,
and thank you guys for what you guys do for the RC community. It's cool to see you guys, be a part of it and you know, do a podcast. It's what RC needs, so it's cool that you guys do that,
Thank you.
and we
do you
appreciate
want
it.
to
Yeah,
give your
and
sponsored stuff a shout out too? Use that opportunity too.
Yeah, let me
These
get my
guys.
body so I don't forget anyone. Yeah, thanks to I did that once in an interview. I was like, I don't remember. So like, thanks to these
Yeah.
guys on my shirt.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks to S Works. They've been really awesome to me. Ultimate Racing, Beach RC, Brandon Sford, he's been part of my program forever. Promotion, Tyler and Jenny are some of the best people that you can deal with, and they definitely help my program quite a bit. JNT, obviously, as well as that, their servos are awesome. Futaba for the amazing radios, Tekin for the good electronics, Bipolar Designs for the stickers, Prevail Paints for all the cool bodies. True Source, TJ made a cool body, so thanks to him. And then yeah, all my supporters and people that enjoy watching me and cheer me on. Thank you to them and all my family.
Is there
Awesome.
anything secretive, new, and lucrative coming down the S Works game that you would share?
Like drivers or
Anything?
like not really, not that I know of. I mean, unless they're keeping it for me, but no, I don't. Yeah, we don't really have anything. It's kind of hard to make the car better when it's already so good. Um, and it's also hard to make the team better when we have really good drivers. So I think we're in a really solid spot right now.
Mm-hmm. No, I definitely agree. But we're starting to see S Works pop up on our side, and that's cool. I mean, there's always been a few, but
Yeah.
it seems like people are starting to branch out now, and it's definitely a great car to run.
It's definitely hard to like surpass Techno just because their product is unbreakable, and it's an American-owned company, and they have a cool veterans warranty. So you definitely see a lot of those out there, and the car is obviously awesome. But if you guys are willing to try an S-Works car, you guys should definitely do it. They're awesome, man, and you guys won't regret it. We do like monthly Zoom meetings for all the customers and team drivers. Me and Mason talk through the races and kind of the setup changes we did. So
Oh, that's super
if you guys
cool.
have any questions for that, yeah, you guys let me know.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that. That's awesome.
Oh, and one other thing too, Camden, I almost forgot. I wanted to bring you on and talk about this as well, but give us just a quick shout out too, and plug the whole build a car thing that you're doing.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I just do Facebook message. I'll get your address and stuff like that, and you get mine. Send it on over, get it built up for you, and get you ready for the summer season. So I already got like since I've always kind of done it, just not really pushed it very much. But
Yeah.
I don't know, just something on the side to make a little bit more spending money, and I don't know, I just enjoy RC stuff. So it's fun to wrench on people's stuff. And yeah, if you guys want a car built up or rebuilt, just hit me up on Facebook Messenger, and we'll get you figured out.
You doing like all
And-
brands, all flavors,
Yep, everything.
10 scale, touring car?
Not really, but I can do it. But I just don't really run 10 scale, so maybe you should send that to someone else. But
I'll send you a touring car.
yeah, that will just get compressored. It will
It'll still break. So
Yeah,
anyone
an
looking
E-clip
to
will
get their
fly
10
off.
scale car rebuilt, we'll just send them all to Gary V. We'll just drop Gary V's address down right here, and
Publicly
he'll
drop
take care
his
of your
own
10 scale
address.
car.
Yeah. You just dox Gary V. Way to go.
Yep. But no, that's all I got. Thanks for coming on, Camden. Appreciate it so much. Best of luck to you at PMB.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stoked to see you down there.
Yes, sir. We get to chat it up.
Hell yeah. Have some
Yep.
Colorado Kool-Aid or whatever the kids are drinking nowadays.
Michelob.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I won't be caught drinking a Mickey Slim. Drink water.
Well, that's what he likes.
he can
That's
drink
all I
that. I'm gonna drink a Kool-Aid.
I figured you maybe
made a-
buy him some beer.
He's old enough to buy his
no.
own.
I am finally.
Maybe I can bring some
I used
Skippy.
to have this thing. One night, me and my buddies were drinking, and we were obviously pretty hammered. So we took some electrical tape, and we took all our cans and we made it into like a big bazooka. It was sick.
Classic.
I don't remember where I put it. I gotta have to find it.
Where's that damn thing at?
Yeah, probably got thrown away to be honest. But
I'll have to bring some Skippy ingredients and Dixie cups and
Oh man,
yeah.
you should bring Skippy for the guys.
Oh yeah, Skippy at the Techno tent.
Yeah.
That's how Alex will never be allowed to pit at the Techno tent again.
Oh my god.
all right, boys. Thank you so
Yeah.
much again. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thank
No,
you,
thank you.
Camden.
Yeah, thanks for
Appreciate it,
joining.
Camden.
Yeah,
Take
no
care.
problem.
Thanks for coming on.
Yep, see you guys later.
Later.
What a cool guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, now I guess it's our turn to wrap it up. Where shall we begin?
Are we doing a wrap up to the wrap up?
The wrap up. I want to tease the cool things and stuff LCRC is doing.
Oh. Yeah, I thought I was gonna throw it in there somewhere, but then I forgot all about it.
Yeah. I think now's a good time. If you ever wanted to, like, just imagine a place you could go for, like, a weekend in the summer, and there's, like, a quantity of top-level pros, like, multiple, along with some other very knowledgeable fast drivers, team managers, and it was just, like, 20 to 30 people, and a full track test and tune weekend with a bunch of pros. Doesn't that sound like fun?
Sounds like a bunch of fun.
Sounds horrible. I want to go home.
Mike just wants to go to bed.
Yeah.
He needs a nap.
Well, anyways, Mike sucks, but if what I just said intrigued you, if it allures you, keep watch on LCRC's activities.
It's actually the first I'm hearing about this
Yes.
potential thing,
Yes.
and it sounds awesome.
Yes.
So,
It's clearly a secret.
Yes. Yes. There is more info to be dropping soon-ish.
I would imagine on the first hump day.
I don't know.
Nah, I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I can't. I don't know. I'm not in that secret.
I'm not even sure if they wanted us to tease it quite that much, Alex.
I think it's good we did.
Yeah, because it's got to drop soon.
Yeah. There's the logo. I dig the first rendition of the thing.
Yeah.
We'll find out within a few days of the podcast coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
shouldn't
know.
have said anything.
You do it at the very end to see if they listen.
Yeah. So.
Because but it'll probably be Cody. Cody's like a huge listener to this, so Cody will listen to the end, and then he'll probably tell like, oh,
he's
shit,
not in on the
it's
secret.
Probably a secret from Cody. And this is another thing too. It's gonna be one of those.
Like, oh yeah, by the way, Cody, you're building a new track for this.
Oh man.
Actually, it wouldn't be a new track or a new layout for that.
It would be the same track we race at a certain race sponsored by a certain company.
It'll be the one before that.
Right, it's a different company.
Yeah. Okay.
A pro company. Like the week before.
Well, yeah, what I'm saying is because like there's that one, and then Mugen. So Mugen always gets a new layout. So
yeah,
that layout for that track should be there for either 2 or 3.
It depends. That isn't official.
Yeah.
I don't because that's all weather variant and track dependent and staff dependent.
We do live in Pennsylvania, so it might snow in August.
Yeah,
so,
It's always a good chance of that. But I don't want to tease that anymore. I don't want to get you guys too worked up.
Oh shoot, are we still recording?
Yes.
Oh.
I want to thank everyone we always thank, Tony and Colleen, the viewers, the listeners. I want to throw in the quick story about Lauren. Lauren was at Walmart, I assume in Somerset, Pennsylvania, getting a mobile order, and the employee loading his car saw our stickers in the back of Lauren's car. And it's like, hey, Slow is Fast podcast. Super cool. Like, if I was ever out in public anywhere and someone was like, you're that guy, I would probably shit my pants. Because, like, it's already a niche of a niche of a niche thing, and then to be in public like that.
I was gonna say, when you're at an RC track, it's very different.
Yeah.
If I was at Walmart and someone said that, I'd probably just bye.
Yeah, I'd be like, "There's no. Where's the camera? I'm getting pranked. Who put you up, Davey?
I know.
Davey. I know you're here." But so yeah,
he comes out giggling from the corner.
Right. So yeah,
with his unicorn head on.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I thank all of our supporters, listeners, watchers, followers, likers, subscribers. And if you ever do see us in public organically, say hi. See if I actually shit myself.
Make sure you're recording it before you say hi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And tag
proof.
us.
Yeah. We need proof.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to...
Hashtag Alex shit his pants again.
Again.
Yeah. Again!
Yeah. Anyways, I want to thank
thing with Alex.
LCRC, of course, for everything. I want to thank Nitro Caddy for everything. We're going to roll their clip at the end of our thank yous, and that's all I have for thank yous. You two hooligans.
Taylor.
Mugen Siki and LCRC. Mike, MT Designs, paints my bodies. And 46RC, Toby, he's okay. He's a bloke.
He's a bloke. He does cool raffles. Pay attention to his website, too.
He does very high-end raffles for a very low cost.
Yes. Short and sweet, you guys said most. I'm going to just add on, but Techno, J Concepts, Tegan, MKS, and Chris for painting most of our bodies, except for Taylor's.
Yeah.
So,
look at them
at least
things.
I know in our immediate area. Yeah, at least I know in our immediate area, Chris has done awesome work. Thank you, Chris. So
The new bodies look sick for you guys.
Oh, wait.
Look
It has no shocks on it right now,
look,
but
look at this thing.
Ooh,
some
Look at
fresh new
that.
bodies.
Look, that's
Chris
painted.
got me hooked up for this year.
Painted
I
grill.
got.
wow.
That is. Yeah, he did start painting grills, which is awesome.
Killer.
But I just mounted up 5 new bodies for this year, so thanks, Chris.
Anywho.
Yeah.
That's that. And that's a wrap. So, thank you guys for tuning in. Pay attention, because here's the coolest thing in the Nitro accessory game with Nitro Caddy coming up next. And we'll see y'all next time.
It's a starter box adapter plate. I got tired of the pins moving on me with the boxes. And what this plate does is it affixes the 4 corners of your chassis to the starter box.